dead will rise, through all hearts will praise, through the darkness flees, through my heart screams, I am free. Yes, I am free, and I am free. I am free, and I am free. Dance. I am free, and I am free to live for you. I am free, I am free. Yes, I am free. Kingdom comes, through the battles won, through I'm not afraid, through the price is paid, through there's victory. Because of you my heart sings, I am free. Yes, I am free, and I am free. I am free, dance. I am free, dance. And I am free to live for you. I am free to live for you. I am free, I am free. Yes, I am free, I am free. Who the sun sets free is free indeed. Who the sun sets free is free indeed. Who the sun sets free is free indeed. I am free. Yes, I am free. And I am free. I am free. And I am free. I am free to live for you. I am free to live for you. I am free. I am free. Yes, I am free. I am free. I am free. Who breaks the power of sin and darkness, whose love is mighty and so much stronger, the King of glory, the King above all kings, who shakes the whole earth with holy thunder and leaves us breathless in awe and wonder. King of glory, the King above all kings. This is amazing grace. This is unfailing love, that you would take my place, that you would bear my cross. You laid down your life that I would be set free. Oh, Jesus, I sing for all that you've done for me. Who brings our chaos back into order? Who makes the orphan a son and daughter? The King of glory, the King of glory, who rules the nations with truth and justice, shines like the sun in all of its brilliance. The King of glory, the King above all kings. This is amazing grace. This is unfailing love, that you would take my place, that you would bear my cross. You laid down your life, that I would be set free. Oh, Jesus, I sing for all that you've done for me. Worthy is the Lamb who was slain. Worthy is the King who conquered the grave. Worthy is the Lamb who was slain. Worthy is the King who conquered the grave. Worthy is the Lamb who was slain. Worthy is the King who conquered the grave. Worthy is the Lamb who was slain. Worthy, worthy, worthy. Oh, this is amazing grace. This is unfailing love, that you would take my place, that you would bear my cross. You laid down your life, that I would be set free. Oh, Jesus, I sing for all that you've done for me. Let love explode and bring the dead to life. A love so bold to bring a revolution somehow. Let love explode and bring the dead to life. A love so bold to bring a revolution somehow. Now I'm lost in your freedom. Oh, this world I'll overcome. My God's not dead, he's still alive, and he's living on the inside. Roar like a lion. My God's not dead, still alive, and he's living on the inside. Roar like a lion. Let hope arise and make the darkness hide. My faith is dead, I need a resurrection somehow. Let hope arise and make the darkness hide. My faith is dead, I need a resurrection somehow. Now I'm lost in your freedom. Oh, this world I'll overcome. My God's not dead, he's surely alive, and he's living on the inside. Roar like a lion. My God's not dead, he's surely alive, and he's living on the inside. Roar like a lion. My God's not dead, he's surely alive, and he's living on the inside, roaring like a lion. My God's not dead, surely alive, and he's living on the inside, roaring like a lion. Let heaven roar and fire fall. Come shake the ground with the sound of revival. Let heaven roar and fire fall. Come shake the ground with the sound of revival. Let heaven roar and fire fall. Come shake the ground with the sound of revival. Let heaven roar and fire fall. Come shake the ground with the sound of revival. My God's not dead, he's surely alive, and he's living on the inside, roaring like a lion. My God's not dead, surely alive, and he's living on the inside, roaring like a lion. My God's not dead, surely alive, and he's living on the inside, roaring like a lion. My God's not dead, surely alive, and he's living on the inside, roaring like a lion.
Hey boys and girls, I want you to meet Leo the lion. You know, Leo's not a real lion, of course, but he is a lion, and we have a lot of these at home. A lot of not Leos, but a lot of lions. We have them on our shirts. We have them in pictures and paintings because my wife and my boys went to a school where the lion was their mascot. As a matter of fact, the shirt I'm wearing, the blue and the yellow, are their school colors. And so, you know, I don't mind petting Leo the lion because he's not real. I don't think I would ever pet a real lion. I don't know, maybe if he had a chain around his mouth and he was tied down and he couldn't move, maybe I might do it because, you know, this is not a real lion. He's got no teeth. Lions have teeth. You know, he's not gonna move. Lions do move, and they're pretty fast. And he's not very strong. But real lions are really strong. And I brought Leo the lion because it reminded me of today's story. Yesterday we talked about the 4 Hebrew boys. We said there was 4 boys that were taking prisoners and they were given positions, and it was Shadrach, Meshach, and Abednego, and Daniel. We talked about Shadrach, Meshach, and Abednego yesterday, and how they were exiled, were quarantined into the fiery furnace. Today we're gonna talk about Daniel. Now Daniel is situation he's in is almost the same as Shadrach, Meshach, and Abednego. You see, they got in trouble for doing things right. Daniel is also going to be in trouble for doing things right. See, the Bible tells us in the book of Daniel, chapter 6, that King Darius, we have a new king now, King Darius decided to appoint 120 satraps over the kingdom stationed throughout the realm. Okay? 120 satraps. And above them, he was going to put 3 administrators. And one of those administrators was Daniel. And so what happened in the story is that Daniel did such a good job. Why? Because he wasn't doing it to please King Darius. Everything Daniel did was to please his God, the Lord. And Daniel did such a great job that the king was planning on putting him in charge of the entire realm. And now that made all the other people very angry, because they wanted to do things their way, and they knew if Daniel was in charge, he was going to make sure they did everything exactly the way it should. They weren't able to cheat anymore. They weren't able to cut corners anymore. They had to do things exactly the way they needed to be done, or else Daniel would probably make them do it again. So what did they do? You have a new king, and they come to him, and of course we use the term buttering him up, or they come and they go, "Oh, king, you're the greatest." And the words they use is, "King Darius, may you live forever." And he said, "King, you are so great." Now remember, yesterday's story, Nebuchadnezzar made this giant statue of himself. Well, for King Darius, they said, "King, you're so good. For the next few days, the next 30 days, I believe it was, make a decree. And don't make just a regular decree. Make a decree of the Medes and the Persians," which meant when that was signed, it could not be changed. So he said, make a decree that for the next few days, nobody can pray to anyone else except to you, King Darius. And King Darius was like, "Hey, that's a great idea." But see, he forgot about Daniel. See, King Darius really liked Daniel. But in all the excitement that they were saying, in all the excitement, he forgot who Daniel was. And he forgot that Daniel would never, ever pray to him. But in the excitement that he had, he signed that decree. Well, they went and they read the decree to all the people. And of course, they had no problem. They would pray to any God. But when Daniel heard it, the Bible tells us that Daniel went to his house. He went to the room and he faced the window and he prayed. Can you imagine? He just heard the news, the decree that they could pray to nobody except to the king. And Daniel said, "No, I'm not going to do that." So what do the guys do? They come and they tell the king, "King, you picked," they tell him, "You made this decree. And you said that no one could pray to any other God except for you." They replied to the king, "Daniel, one of the Judean exiles, has ignored you, king, and the edict you signed, for he prays 3 times a day." As soon as the king heard this, he was very displeased. He set his mind on rescuing Daniel. What? He set his mind on rescuing Daniel and made every effort until sundown to deliver him. You see, he remembered, Daniel's not going to do that because Daniel serves his God. And he tried to rescue him. But remember I told you, whenever a law is a law of the Persians and the Medes, it cannot be broken. It cannot be broken. Not even the king can change it. So what do? They take Daniel and they throw him in the lions' den. Now, here's the thing. It's not a bunch of little stuffed animal lions. These are real lions. And what they do is they don't feed them to make sure they're really hungry. And when they would throw somebody in, it was lunchtime. And so they threw Daniel in and they covered the top of the den. And King Darius went to his house and he couldn't sleep all night. He couldn't sleep all night. And then the Bible tells us in verse 19, at the first light of dawn, the king got up and hurried to the lion's den. When he reached the den, he cried out in anguish to Daniel, "Daniel!" Now listen to what he says. "Daniel, servant of the living God," the king said, "has your God, whom you continually serve, been able to rescue you from the lions?" He didn't say, "Hey, Daniel, you okay?" No. Daniel, servant of the living God. Because he knew that the only way Daniel could survive was if Daniel's God would save him. And he even said, "Daniel has the God who you continually serve." See, King Darius knew that Daniel prayed to his God. So what happened? I don't know. Let's see. Then Daniel spoke with the king. May the king live forever. My God sent his angel and shut the mouth of the lions, and they haven't harmed me. For I was found innocent before him, and also before you, your majesty. I have not done harm. So Daniel, see, in yesterday's story, we saw a fourth person in there talking with Shadrach, Meshach, and Abednego. And in this story, God sent his angel to close the mouth of the lion. You know, in our nursery department, we have a picture of a lion, and it's a lion, and he's lying down, and Daniel's lying on top of him. Why? Because Daniel wasn't afraid. Daniel knew the lion was not going to hurt him. Now, this is a stuffed animal, but that was a real lion. There was several real lions in there. You know, and that would be really neat. The story ends there. But you know what? The story doesn't end there. The king was mad at the people who accused Daniel, because he loved Daniel. And basically what they did was they tricked the king. They tricked the king in trying to get rid of Daniel. So the king made an order. The king ordered that all the men who had accused Daniel, that they would bring them. See, he says here, the king then gave the command, and those men who had maliciously accused Daniel were brought and thrown into the lion's den. Now listen here. It was them, their children, and their wives. The king wasn't just mad at them. He was mad at everyone who was associated with them. Now here's this. How hungry were the lions? Well, the Bible says, they had not reached the bottom of the den before the lions overpowered them and crushed all their bones. Now, I'm not happy that they were killed, but I can tell you that when someone tries to hurt a child of God, God's going to protect them. And in this story, yet again, Daniel did what was right. And King Darius, he knew that who Daniel was, but he got caught up in all the excitement of him being king. And they tricked him into signing that edict. And he did. And they even told him to sign it in the form of the Persians and the Medes, where it could not be changed. But God took care of Daniel. And I love it because King Darius knew. He even told him, Daniel has the God who you continuously serve. Can people say that about you? Can they say Isauro has the God that you've continually served? I don't know. I mean, I hope they can say that about me. I do my best to serve the Lord every day with all my heart, all my strength, and all my soul. But how about you? Do you do what's right in the eyes of the Lord? If not, hey, start today. Because people need to know who we serve. People need to know who we love. And they need to know that when push comes to shove, we're going to choose God every time. I hope you enjoyed today. I hope you enjoyed the crafts and the snacks. We'll see you tomorrow for day 4 of Quarantined.
Hello everyone, welcome to VBS. This is going to be a lot of fun this week. I know it's not our normal VBS, but we're going to do the quarantine version of VBS. Some of us, most of us have been wearing our masks, and that's a good thing. But did you know in the Bible, there are stories about the Bible characters being quarantined also? Let's begin with Daniel. Now, there was a new king in Babylon, and his name was Darius. Darius was a good king. He chose Daniel to be one of his helpers. Daniel was such a good worker that King Darius even gave him a better job. Well, the other helpers were not happy about this because they were jealous that Daniel was doing all the good jobs. They wanted to make a mean plan to get back at Daniel. So they went to the king and they said, King Darius, we think you should make a law that says everyone should pray to you only for 30 days. And if they don't, they will be thrown into the den of lions. Well, the king signed the law and it became law. But by doing this, that meant the people could not pray to God. Well, of course, Daniel loved God. He went home to his house every day and prayed to God. Well, while he was there, the helpers spied on him, and they saw him praying to God quickly as they could. They ran to King Darius and told him Daniel was praying to God. He wasn't praying to you. Well, the law is the law. King Darius was very sad, but he had to throw Daniel into the den of lions. All night long, the king worried. He didn't eat, he didn't sleep, but Daniel was there. When he woke up, he ran to the den and called out, "Daniel, are you okay?" And Daniel said, "Yes, King Darius, I'm here. God shut the mouths of the lions with an angel, and I am fine. I am good." And they brought him out. King Darius was so happy, and he said, "Praise to the God of Daniel." And now Daniel was no longer quarantined. Daniel loved God, and he always served God.
Hello everybody and welcome to day 1 of VBS Snacks Quarantine. We are so excited to have you here even if you aren't really here with us today. Today's snack is going to go along with our lesson of today. In today's story, we learn about Daniel and the lion's den. Daniel was thrown into the lion's den because he prayed to God instead of the king. The king didn't want to throw Daniel into the lion's den, but he had to follow the law that he had made. So Daniel was thrown into the lion's den, but because he loved and served God, God sent an angel to protect him from the lions all night. So today we are going to be making a lion. Here are the things that you will be needing. You will be needing 1 graham cracker, 3 chocolate chips, 1 pretzel, 12 pretzel sticks, frosting or peanut butter, whichever one you want, a napkin, a spoon or a butter knife, and a plate if you have one. So we're first going to start by tearing it in half. We're going to place 1/2 in front of us. We're going to grab our frosting. Get a good amount on your spoon or on your knife. We're going to spread it over our graham cracker. We're going to then take our pretzel sticks and we're going to stick it around the graham cracker. And it is okay if you break it in half. Alright, we're going to take this graham cracker, get some more frosting, and put a little bit right here. And take this one and stick it right on top of here. And if you need to, you can pull out some of the pretzels so it looks something like this. Alright. We're then going to take a little bit more frosting and our chocolate chip and put a little bit of frosting on the bottom of the chocolate chip and put it right in the middle of the graham cracker. Then I'm going to take our pretzel, fold it like this, dip it in some frosting, and we're going to place this over the over the chocolate chip. This is going to be the nose. If you need to, you can add a little bit on top too as well to make sure it doesn't slip off. We're going to take our other 2 chocolate chips, put a little frosting on it, put it right on top of the nose, And there you go. Here is your lion. Thank you guys for joining us today. I hope to see you guys next time. Bye, everybody.
Hey guys, welcome to VBS. Today is day 1. Remember, when you got your packet, you got one of these little baggies in there. And in there, you're gonna find some stuff. You're gonna find a glue that you'll need for the 4 different days for your crafts. You'll have some googly eyes for some really cool crafts, some crayons, and a Q-tip to help you glue this stuff. So day 1 is Daniel on the Lion's Den. Super excited. You'll find your craft is in a little Ziploc bag. So the first one we're gonna do is for grades kinder through 2nd. And you see a little paper plate with some little torn yellow strips that we're gonna use for the lion's hair. But before we get started, since we are in a time of quarantine and we have a little virus that is passing around, we want to go ahead and start off by washing our hands so that we don't spread the germs.
Wash your hands, wash your hands, wash your hands, pretty please.
All right, did you guys already wash your hands? Good. I washed my hands too, so they're clean, so we can start our craft for today. So we'll be making a lion's face, guys. So you can go ahead and grab your glue. Don't need it, even though it looks kind of like whipped cream. It's not. Go ahead and grab your Q-tip. And what you're gonna use these yellow strips for are for the lion's hair. Just like our friends that we have here in the corner, they have hair. So we're gonna go ahead and use these all over. You have 12 strips, so you can go ahead and spread them around. Doesn't have to be perfect, just however you want it. You can put a mohawk if you want. You could only put half of the paper plate if you want. Totally up to you. It's your lion. Just make sure to press down on all the little pieces so that the glue sticks. And if you need to use more glue, just go ahead and pick up the side that you're sticking onto the plate and just press down a little bit, a few seconds, and it should stick. Almost there, halfway done. So this is what it kind of looks like. I'm gonna go ahead and finish the rest of the hair. Make sure not to get your brother or sister sticky with the glue, even though it's tempting. Lots of hair, lots of hair. And if your mommy and daddy have a Facebook, have them take a picture of what your craft looks like at the end and post it on there so we can all see what your lion looks like. All right, don't forget to press down. Since it is glue, it's a little wet, so it can move a little bit around. All right, this is what mine looks like. Then you can go ahead and grab your crayons. Now, if you have crayons laying around in your house, you can use whatever color you want. You can color it green. You can color it pink with polka dots. It doesn't matter. You just want it to look like a lion. You can make the eyes. Mine's gonna have red eyes. And then you draw the nose. And into making the whiskers. And there you go. That is my lion. And yours can look totally different, which I'm pretty excited to see what yours look like. Now, on to grades 3 and up. Go ahead and leave your glue there. So you're going to use it. And you have yours as well in here in one of these little Ziploc baggies. You have your lion's face. You have a lot of loose paper. It looks like confetti. Don't throw it in the air. And then you're going to have to make your mom vacuum it. And then you're going to find yourself have these little pieces of yarn. Don't throw them away. They're for the whiskers on the face. Make sure I get all my hair up. Now you can start however you want. You can go around gluing with yellow paper for the hair. You can do the whiskers first. We even have as well some googly eyes. These eyes you can use here, or if you want to, you can go ahead and draw the eyes yourself with your crayons. I'm gonna go ahead and start with the hair, just because that takes the longest. Again, you can go ahead and decorate it however you want. Mohawk, maybe just the hair on top so it's all spiky. And you just grab the pieces and stick them wherever you put the glue. You press down. Your fingers might get real sticky. Now, if you see that your hands get a lot of glue on there, then you can just go ahead and stop the craft and go wash your hands again. And then come back and finish gluing some more. I like glue. It's fun. So do my kids. See, it gets stuck to your fingers. So go ahead and keep going. Maybe you can make it cool where it looks like Elvis and it only has sideburns with hair on the top. See? It keeps getting stuck. So I have one that's already done, but I'm going to go on to the next step that you can do, and that is the whiskers. So you have 8 whiskers that are on the paper, and you just go ahead and follow the whisker line that's on there, and then press down on the paper so that the yarn can go ahead and stick properly. Ooh, these are sticky. By the time you know it, my hands are going to be stuck to the paper, and that's that. My hands won't come off the paper. And then when you're done with the whiskers, you have the googly eyes. And just go ahead and you can either glue the back just a little bit, goes a long way, and you can dab it on the paper and then press down. Do the other one. You can make one eye, maybe close together, far apart, however you want. You make your line the way you want. And press down. And then with your crayons, you can go ahead and color the nose, the ears, and then finish it. So I have one that's already done, and it looked like this. So I hope you had fun doing your craft for day 1. We're so glad that you guys are here with us. We miss you, and we're excited for day 2. See you later.